Migrant worker leaves 4 million new Taiwan dollars on train. Police investigate. Taiwan dollar surges amid U.S. tariff concerns. Governor denies pressure. Taiwan stock market rallies on President Li's anniversary and NT dollar surge. Vatican Conclave chooses first American-born Pope. Xi and Putin pledge to stand together against the U.S. Sudan's paramilitary unleashes drones on key targets. Japan's population shrinks as marriage and birth rates plummet. OpenAI to remain under nonprofit control.
Hello, I'm Johnny. Thank you for joining us on Funday News. It's Friday, May 9th, Europe Day, and here are your top stories. And for today's Taiwan news, a Vietnamese migrant worker left a bag containing 4 million NT dollars on a Taiwan Railways train. Upon realizing the mistake at Tainan Station, he reported it to the service desk, and the bag was recovered. Police are investigating the source of the funds. The worker, employed at a stone factory in Chiayi, has no clear explanation for carrying such a large sum. Authorities are following up on the case. As the Taiwanese dollar surged amid global concerns over U.S. tariff policies, Central Bank Governor Yang Jinglong denied any connection to U.S. pressure. However, his stuttering response sparked criticism, with some accusing the government of denying the reality of a currency war. On May 20th, President Lai Ching-te's first anniversary coincided with the new Taiwan dollar's appreciation, sparking optimism in the market. Investors focused on green energy, military, next-gen communications, and tourism stocks. The Taiwan Stock Exchange's May 20th rally has historically seen an 80% chance of gains, with a 90% probability of continued growth in the following days. And in global news, Habeb's pop on. The world's 1.4 billion Catholics have a new leader. Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost, the first American-born pope, the 69-year-old is originally from Chicago and has chosen the papal name Leo XIV. He was most recently the head of the dicastery responsible for the appointment of bishops and the Archbishop Emeritus of Chiclayo, Peru. Peace be with all of you, Pope Leo XIV said from the balcony of St. Peter's Basilica in his first public words. He was met with joyful cheering from a crowd of around 150,000.
La pace sia con tutti voi.
Peace be with you all.
The decision to elect an American goes against conventional wisdom, which has held that the United States already holds enough power in the world. The new pope has spent much of his life outside the U.S., so he is also considered to have a global perspective, and in fact holds a Peruvian passport in addition to his American and Vatican ones. Leo is well known as a leader of the Augustinian order and for his work as a diocesan bishop in Peru. He briefly thanked the city of Chiclayo in northern Peru, where he was bishop, in Spanish. In addition to English, Spanish, and Italian, Leo speaks French and Portuguese, and reads Latin and German.
Chinese President Xi Jinping told Russia's Vladimir Putin on Thursday that their two countries should be friends of steel, as they pledged to elevate cooperation to a new level and decisively counter the influence of the United States. During talks at the Kremlin, the two leaders cast themselves as defenders of a new world order no longer dominated by the U.S. They said they would deepen relations in all areas, including military ties, and strengthen coordination in order to decisively counter Washington's course of dual containment of Russia and China.
The two countries said the Ukraine conflict could only be settled by removing its root causes, a phrase that Russia has frequently used when arguing it was forced to go to war to prevent the prospect of Ukraine joining NATO. Ukraine and its Western allies say that was a false pretext for what they call an imperial-style invasion. Xi is the most powerful of more than 24 foreign leaders visiting Moscow this week to mark Thursday's 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. Xi's participation, and the joint statement aligning China with Russia's view of the conflict, provides Putin with an important boost as Russia comes under pressure from the United States to end the war.
Sudan's paramilitary unleashed drones on the Red Sea city of Port Sudan early Tuesday, hitting key targets including the airport, the port, and hotel. The barrage was the second such attack this week on a city that had been a hub for people fleeing Sudan's two-year war. There was no immediate word on any casualties or the extent of the damage. Local media reported loud explosions and fires at the port and the airport. Footage circulating online showed thick smoke rising over the area.
The attack on Port Sudan, which also serves as an interim seat for Sudan's military-allied government, underscores that after 2 years of fighting, the military and the paramilitary rapid support forces are still capable of threatening each other's territory. 2 Sudanese military officials said the RSF drones struck early in the morning. The attack apparently disrupted air traffic at the airport, with data from Cairo Airport in neighboring Egypt showing that 3 Port Sudan-bound flights were cancelled on Tuesday. A military ammunition warehouse at the Othman Dakna airbase in the city was also hit, setting off a fire that burned for 2 days.
Japan's estimated child population has shrunk for the 44th straight year to a record low, as the country grapples with a demographic crisis underscored by falling birth rates and a rapidly aging population. According to data released by the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Communications ahead of the country's Children's Day public holiday, the number of children aged 14 and under was 13.66 million as of April 1st, down 350,000 from a year ago. Children now make up just 11.1% of Japan's total population, marking a slight decline from the previous year.
By comparison, the proportion of children in the population was roughly 21.7% for the Yusen 2023 and 17.1% for Chinain 2024. The demographic crisis has become one of Japan's most pressing issues, with its birth rate continuing to decline despite government efforts to encourage young people to get married and start families. Japan's fertility rate has remained relatively flat at 1.3 in recent years, far below the 2.1 required to maintain a stable population. For decades, it has been on a downward trend that has also seen the number of deaths surpassing births each year, causing the total population to shrink, with far-reaching consequences for Japan's workforce, economy, welfare systems, and social fabric.
OpenAI said on Monday that it would remain under the control of its nonprofit parent while pushing ahead with plans to change the structure of its for-profit arm to allow more capital raising in order to keep pace with the artificial intelligence race. The announcement follows a storm of criticism and legal challenges, including a high-profile lawsuit filed by rival Elon Musk, who has accused the company of straying from its founding mission to develop AI for the benefit of humanity.
The company had outlined plans in December to revamp its structure by becoming a public benefit corporation, saying that would help it raise more capital than imagined and remove the restrictions imposed by its current nonprofit parent. The move had raised concerns about whether OpenAI would allocate its assets to the nonprofit arm fairly and how the company would balance profit-making with generating social and public good as it develops AI. On Monday, OpenAI said the nonprofit parent will control the public benefit corporation and become a major shareholder in it. Nonprofits are created to serve the public good, while public benefit corporations typically offer more flexibility to pursue profit alongside social goals.
The answer for yesterday was C, verification. We need verification of your identity before granting access. Did you answer correctly? Now let's delve into today's news. Xi and Putin pledge to stand together against U.S. Number 1, pledge. 承诺誓言. She pledged to donate a portion of her salary to charity every month. Number 2, elevate. 提升举起. The new policies aim to elevate the quality of education in rural areas. Number 3, containment. 遏制控制. The government implemented strict measures for the containment of the virus. Now we have a question for you. You can write your answer in the comment section, and the correct answer will be announced next week. Europe Day is a significant celebration in Europe, marked by 2 different dates to honor peace and unity. The Council of Europe observes it on May 5th, commemorating the day of its foundation in 1949. The European Union, on the other hand, celebrates it on May 9th. Thank you for tuning in to today's Funday News. You can watch our news from Monday to Friday and click the link below to join Funday for free. I'll see you next time.